Hey, you. So, you want to start a podcast but not sure where to start? I'll tell you where to start. You start at Anchor. If you haven't heard about Anchor, it's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. Number one, it's free. Number two, it's free. Number three, it's free. There are creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many, many more. You can make money from your podcast. That's right. No minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. Anchor.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Video Store Clerks. And this should be interesting because 3 of the 4 of your clerks are sick.
One person.
I hear this sound tonight.
Oh, not really sick, but my sinuses are really fucked up.
Yeah,
I hate the weather change.
That's where I'm at. Because I was like, like it can't be COVID. I got both those fucking shots. I got the fucking booster shot. Like, I've dodged this thing for how long?
Right.
2 years this has been going on. I managed to dodge it.
Well, all I got to say, in the words of Jesse Pinkman, science, bitch.
Suck it.
He's eating in case anybody wonders why his mouth sounds full.
And well, anyway, we're your clerks. I'm Dave.
That did not sound right out of context.
But
That's why it
Patrick,
was great to
is
say.
Patrick there? Patrick, are you okay? Is Patrick okay?
Patrick is dead. He is ceased to be. He is a dead parrot.
Uh-oh. He might have ran to the bathroom, too.
Oh, shit. Literally.
Patrick, if you're having trouble, leave the room and come back in. Maybe that. Unless something terrible has happened live.
Yeah.
So in
Really
case
feel like assholes if something bad's happening.
3/4
Well, I
of
don't want him to miss this episode. Because tonight's episode is we are the men. We are the men with virus, and we are the men without fear.
and the men without virus.
As we will be talking about the wonderful Netflix show Daredevil, which we all miss very much and hope comes back soon.
And which sadly for a lot of awards. Like, how did Vincent D'Onofrio plays Kingpin did not win any awards is beyond me.
Like, he did a good job.
He gained weight for the role.
Yes.
Like, he was hardcore fanboy for the role and like literally begged them to cast him.
Oh, come on. Did he really gain weight for the role? Was it just kind of already like, you know?
He did, yeah. Like, I follow him on Facebook, and he's a giant fanboy. He was just like competitive for Deadpool, Daredevil to come back, and so they brought back, and then Matt Murdock being played by the amazing Charlie Cox. He's confirmed. They just need to confirm Karen Page and Foggy and fuck everybody else.
I'm sure they probably will at this point. I will say Marvel is really good at listening to the fans as to what they want.
Unlike DC, where WB just kicks you in the nuts. And they're just like, do you like it?
And it's like how hard is it to find out what just go on Twitter, go fucking wherever, and you'll see what they want.
Hell, welcome to
I was a big Charlie Cox fan too. Like, I really liked. I remember when the show first started, I was like, I really like the guy playing him.
Yeah.
And locked in my brain forever is that part with Kingpin when he's slamming the guy's head in the car door.
Car door, yeah.
I think that was the first season, but I was like, wow.
That was the first season. That was brutal, like intense, and you're just like, what? That just happened? Wow, this shit's going there.
I'm just gonna go ahead and
for Patrick. He's in the bathroom.
Oh, we were correct. Okay. It's not like a lethal weapon situation, right? The bomb of some sort.
But the really impressive thing about Daredevil, for people that are unaware of the comics, he's a superhero, or not really, who's Catholic, and so there's a lot of Catholic, and the show actually does a really good job of it, including the that he confides in, who happens to be like a logical priest. He's just like talking about all this stuff when it terms. He's like, I don't believe in all that faith bullshit. I'm probably the most logical priest that you'll run into. It's just kind of hilarious coming from a Catholic priest.
Yeah.
And so it interweaves the dark and grittiness that WB seems to not do well at with the superhero aspects.
I was gonna say they're pretty gritty with Seventh Heaven.
And a Law and Order type of thing, but like you have the court drama balancing with the religious connotations, and then you have randomly thrown in like a ancient order of ninjas, because why not? And Punisher.
Yeah, the hand
into the show, the Punisher, but we're not going to talk about that right now, or we could.
I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and throw this out there to everyone. You all probably already realize this from our group text, but you all know more about this than me. Like, when it comes down, like, I only watched, like, I don't even know, like, I watched a handful of episodes. I liked what I saw of it. I don't remember much of it. Daredevil, I was always a fan of the Daredevil comics, but you were talking, like, even when it comes down to like superhero movies and stuff, I am so behind on all that shit. I haven't watched one Avengers movie.
Well, it's hard to catch up.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah. I just I don't know. I liked Iron Man. That was cool. But I like that's how long it's been since I've watched Iron Man 2. I think that's the last thing. Well, no, I watched the Spider-Man movie that was animated. That was pretty cool.
Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, that was I liked that one a lot. That was cool. But I don't know.
The one thing I will definitely say that sold me on Daredevil was the first season with that one-shot hallway scene was amazing. It was all in one take, and the stunt team for that show went above and beyond most shows, because when you got to Iron Fist, it feels like they just dropped the ball everywhere. The story, the character, even the motivations. It's just like,
I think I got through the first episode of Iron Fist, and that was as far as I got.
But when they talk about 5 years, removed from society, I'm like, so is this Arrow? Like, I'm like, you know what Danny Rand needs to be? Arrow, but we're gonna be Iron Fist instead. Like, I just felt it was poorly inspired. But
he's better as like a side character, maybe not having his own show.
No, and the actor who plays him, I like him, but I just thought he was the wrong person to play.
For the longest time, I thought he was the dude from the '70s show.
It's that hair.
Mm-hmm. But my favorite episode of Daredevil is I know we're not supposed to get to season 2 yet, but we're the one from season 2. First of all, when Daredevil and Punisher are on that rooftop, just talking. Just talking. And they're going back and forth. It's almost like Superman and Batman.
Yeah, the emotional delivery.
Just have different perspectives on how to handle the criminal underbelly. Because Punisher is basically saying, you lock them up, but they get right out. Punisher says, I finish the job. I do what needs to be done. I make the hard choice. That whole scene is amazing. But then later, remember when Daredevil gets loose and he has those chains wrapped around his arm, and he beats this whole biker gang's ass.
I really need to go back and watch this show.
Yes, the physicality in this show is amazing, and I know firsthand Charlie Cox does most of his own stunts, not all of them, and he does the craziest ones too.
That's
like
cool.
The hallway scene was mostly him. Like
I was told that like because I like Punisher. I've always liked Punisher. And I was always told, oh, you need to watch Daredevil. It's really good, and especially like Punisher. Da, 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 da. I don't really know why. I just never. I guess just life happened. I kind of forgot that he even existed. But I was told he did a good job as Punisher. I couldn't stand him in Walking Dead. He annoyed the fuck out of me. But I was told that a lot of people felt the same way. But he did. Well, yeah. But I was told he does a killer job as Punisher. That's what I was told.
He's like a really intense dude.
Yeah,
he is. John Barenthal, seriously, like in terms of wise, like perfectly encapsulates what Frank Castle is supposed to be. Like he plays the complex character and the emotional angle so well. It's like an actor from what people know him from The Walking Dead. You're just like, this the same guy?
Right, yeah.
But
yeah, Chuck, I'd definitely skip ahead to season 2 and just start there.
They kind of fill you in on the recap, because there's recaps on Netflix if people don't know. And so if you want to skip season 1, even though you shouldn't because the character development is so good,
just come back to it later.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because I think Punisher comes in the very first episode, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, it's literally they start out with like the Punishers towards the end of the end of the episode, killing all people, and they're just like, "Well, it's not Daredevil. Who is it?" And then they show him, and then everybody that knows Punisher are just like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, and like the hospital's like overwhelmed with all these gangbangers coming in and shit. Like he's just taking everybody out.
Hell yeah.
It is the most amazing crossover I've seen, I think, in a TV show. Like having the way they implement Punisher into the Daredevil show so seamlessly. It's like, wow.
Did they have a Punisher show also?
Yeah.
Yeah. Daredevil pretty much picks up right where Punisher begins, because Punisher references Daredevil in that as well, but it's mostly about his story.
Yeah, that's
finished season 2 of that. I still watched season 2 of the Punisher.
Oh. Yeah, well, that's good because I only watched season 1 of the Punisher as well. Yeah, we're so great at this, guys. We've been barely finished half the show. There's too much content out there. Just saying.
And like he's another one of those heroes that's he's trying to get away from it. Like he just wants, like he's got a steady job and he's just trying to get away from it. But it's always another one of those things, like something pulls him back in.
And I love the confliction of Matt Murdock, because he's just like, he was brought up by this crazy hermit who claims that he's the chosen one of these group of warriors that are fighting the group called the Hand. If fans know who the Hand is, this ancient order of basically samurai ninjas. And
not the Foot Clan.
Yeah. Not the Foot. HAND. And then
uh-oh. Hello?
Hello? What happened?
I don't know. And then there were 2.
And then there were 2. And yeah. They're all dropping off, man. Like, what the hell happened? Everybody just, like, disappeared.
Okay.
Are you there?
Yeah, Andrew said something happened. Coming back.
Okay.
Oh, there he was. And he left again. Man.
We're doing great tonight, let me tell you.
Even the tech is sick. Like, what the fuck?
Okay. But yeah, so Daredevil.
Well, we can go back and forth about the movie.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, like, no, like there he is. The show though, like what
difficulties tonight, people.
There we go. Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, like, that was like, I was always a fan of the Daredevil comics, and when I saw the show, it definitely like seemed like it was pretty spot on with things. All the actors and everything were really cool in it. I really kind of actually hate that I actually kind of missed out on that one.
Like Stick is a character that you want to hate because he's such an asshole, but at the same time, he actually knows a lot about what's going on. He's just so arrogant because he has so much power. And for an older guy, you're like, oh, this guy's not going to do anything. But no, he literally beats the living shit out of people like half his age. It's absurd. But it's comic, so.
Daredevil was one I read a lot too. Daredevil and Spider-Man were probably the two I read the most when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I think it was the costume.
Well, fun fact, they're both from the same city, so that had to have been interesting because of all the crossover.
Oh, yeah. That is true.
Hell's Kitchen and then Queens.
Oh, yeah. We're all in New
I didn't
York.
think about that.
But essentially, at some point in season 1, they bring in the character Elektra, who is the on-again, off-again love interest of Matt Murdock, who has a horrifying past, like most characters in comics. He's like a hardened serial killer, essentially.
And it's not Jennifer Garner playing her.
Yes,
and that's
no, it's
even
not
better
because
I can't stand her.
It's someone actually who is trained to do stuff, I'm sure, or if not, she makes it seriously look realistic in terms of the
she's
fighting.
Badass in the show.
And probably my favorite incarnation of Elektra, just because they.
Guys, I'll be right back. Hold on a second.
Okay.
All right, no problem. But yeah, it's essentially.
We're busy at the video store. We got shit to do.
Yeah. Being manipulated by Stick this whole time and claims that, well, she's dangerous and you don't know her like I do. And then, of course, things happen and, well, you know, the old man is right again.
Because Elektra was one of those, kind of like Lando in Empire Strikes Back. You don't really know whose side she's on.
Yeah, she's on her own side.
Sorry about that, guys.
For not knowing much of the comics, I'm just like going by what I know from other people that have read it. So if I'm incorrect, please feel free to say what you're wrong about.
I don't remember reading much about Elektra. I read a lot of the ones that Bullseye was in.
Yeah.
It was just cool to see them fight.
Until season 3. But season 3, I know a lot of people dropped off because it's not as exciting, but I feel like the acting in season 3 is probably some of the best. Like you have one specific scene. So yeah, we're gonna jump around the seasons. Oh well. One specific scene in the prison that it's Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk, and they're both like having a conversation, and just the intensity between both actors is insane. Like it's one of the best scenes in that whole like season. Again,
how many seasons is it?
3.
Okay.
13 episodes each.
And I think there's one scene where Matt's trying to get out of the prison, and if you look, it's this amazing. It's one shot.
Yeah,
I think it's about
with a lot of the
15 minutes of him getting out of there, and he's fighting people, fighting prisoners and guards on the way out. And if you look, it's one shot the whole time, him getting out of there. And that was just, I don't know, that was very impressive to me.
Oh yeah, I feel like a lot of the fight scenes were taken in one shot because it started to become the norm, or maybe they made it the norm in terms of filming stuff, because I don't remember really many shows that did one shot stuff.
And the fights are realistic too. It's not like it's not comic booky, I guess, at all. The fights are very realistic.
Very brutal. People look like they're dead all the time, and they're just like, nope. Murdoch's just like all beaten up. And the funny thing about the show is, here's the comic situation. If you think that someone would get beaten up that badly, you would expect in the courtroom, like, what happened to you? Oh, you know, I just fell down the steps. But he comes up with all these lame excuses, and they're just like, oh, okay, you know, he's blind.
Fight Club.
Yeah. I started a
Yeah,
fight.
they just assume that he's blonde, he's just running into things or something. Like,
Well,
it's like, what a bunch of assholes.
Even watched it, you're pretty spot on. Like, he comes up with the lamest excuses, and his friend Foggy Nelson, his best friend that they grew up with. Not sure if they changed that from the comic. Again, I'm not too familiar with them, but yeah, Foggy's just kind of like, okay, but then after a while, he's like, okay, this is bullshit. There's no way that he is this clumsy.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, I guess people just assume because he's blind, he falls a lot. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
But again, when you're entering a court in New York, you don't think anyone would question that at all. So again, the comic book aspect comes into play of, like, let's just take his word. He's blind. But again, it's New York. Everybody knows New York's suspicious. They would ask questions. Just saying.
I would like to see I'd like to see a crossover Law and Order Daredevil episode.
Oh, that
something
would be
just went off.
The one with Ice-T in it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and fucking Mariska Hargitay.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that would be cool.
I love her to death.
Yeah, she's amazing still. Because they sort of did a soft reboot for it, and apparently they still kill it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm an avid watcher.
Yeah, that's
really creepy.
Everyone plays marathons of it, so it's
yeah.
If I'm flipping around and see it. Oh man, I'm stuck on that show all day.
Like, how can you not be? It's just I don't know. And a lot of people like give me shit for this the shows I like because they're kind of like random. Like I love Law and Order. I'm a big Frasier fan. Like a lot of my friends make fun of me over that, but yeah.
I've never
Seinfeld
watched
for me, but
I
could never get into Friends, and Seinfeld, the darker humor, so I latched onto that more.
I love the Soup Nazi.
Yes, exactly. No superior.
And they're like,
no
explanation. Shit.
Yeah, no explanation to why he hated Frasier. Yeah, I'm just mixing the shows up. Why he hated like Seinfeld, but like, yeah, he just didn't like him.
Yeah, I've seen every episode of that show, and I don't know. I like everybody on there except for Seinfeld.
I mean, fair enough. Well, it looks like we just got word from Patrick. He won't be joining us tonight, so sorry about that, folks. It's going to be like a low-key night.
He's out. Like I said, I wasn't kidding. 3 of the 4 of us are sick.
So if you want to turn this off now, be my guest.
Yeah, so none of us can be blamed for each other's sicknesses.
And I slept all fucking day, dude.
Hell, I slept till 1 today, I think.
I guess I'm the crazy person. I woke up at 8 something.
It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I was up when to get the boys to school, and then came home, and that was it. Game over, man. Game over.
Yeah. I actually came home and finished this movie I was watching last night. Not to get off topic or nothing, but since we're just rambling,
it happened.
Not rambling, just talking. Yeah, right.
We'll come back to Daredevil anyway when Patrick gets back, probably hopefully next week.
Right. Yeah. It was called The Deep House.
I never heard of it.
And it's new, and it's about a haunted house underwater.
Whoa.
Underwater. So how was that? I've been dying yet, actually.
It's actually pretty good. See, underwater movies, I like watching them because they make my anxiety go sky high. Oh my god!
Is it the water, or is it like? Are you like a fear of drowning?
A couple of reasons. One, the fear of drowning, of course. Also, I don't know what's in the fucking water on this. Like, well, the movie is about this couple that they're like YouTubers. They're doing like it's half like it's mainly pretty much a found footage type film. It's with the POV kind of thing. And they go. I'm picky about it, but this one's good though. But they go underwater, and I guess this this big flood happened or whatever, and this house like sank, to the bottom. And they go down there to explore this place, and they end up finding all kinds of like craziness, especially a couple people. Like they find out there's some murders and stuff that went on in this house, and some weird satanic stuff. And there's like people like hooked up the chain. All kind of, it's a pretty intense movie. It's good though. It made me feel similar to 47. Was it 47 meters down or whatever it's called? With Mandy Moore. That one makes my fucking anxiety go through the roof.
Like open water and all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
like I think
I like those kind of movies.
Scary, but to make a whole movie out of it, I don't know.
Well, that's
scary.
It's a terrifying concept, except everybody uses the same concept in all those movies. It's
true.
Somebody's stranded and they're gonna be in the water for how long? We don't know. Is a shark gonna get them? We don't know. And then they make sequel after sequel, and you're like, we saw this
in the water. Shark in the water. Second water.
Yeah.
Like, where the
just
fuck
call it water.
Well, I mean, if we were M. Night Shyamalan, it would just be something super ambiguous, terrible dialogue. The twist would be like, he was afraid of his own shadow.
M. Night Shyamalan ding dong. A man that only has... Huh?
Old?
Yes.
From M. Night Shyamalan, the newer one?
Yeah, I did watch that a few months back.
It was better than a lot of his older stuff.
Yeah.
I will say you'll never guess the twist at the end. You'll never guess.
Yeah,
I will say that about it.
Really? I guess I know. It's an interesting movie. M. Night, I've always been back and forth with him. Sixth Sense I liked. Unbreakable's good. I liked that was really fucking creepy.
Unbreakable is the best, in my opinion, that actually could be possible.
It is. Yeah, I agree.
I liked all three of them, especially Split. I thought Split was
Split
was a acting, just because if anyone was familiar with the actor who played like 8 different personalities, and they all seemed legitimate. That was McAvoy, wasn't it? Yeah, James McAvoy.
James McAvoy played him.
Actor who played Professor Xavier, the young Professor Xavier, but he's never got. Right. Split was so good.
It was,
but passed over for awards. It just like astounded me.
Yeah, Split was the movie that actually got me being like, okay, maybe I could get into, let's see what else he's going to put out. And I like, I said The Visit was good. That was creepy. Old, that's why I was like, okay, Old. What is this? I mean, I pretty much already figured out what this movie's probably about, but, and also another question is if you can figure out when you're going to see M. Night Shyamalan. If you've seen any of his movies, it's always, it's obvious, but whatever. Take his movies for what they are. I'm not a huge fan, but Old it was all right. It was all right. I mean, shit. It had me.
But Glass was great up into the third act, where it was just like, okay, I can predict the end of this movie.
That's how
I never saw that one.
Out. That's how he went out. I think it was that puddle, right? They drowned him in the puddle.
Yeah, like literally, I predicted that. Oh, they're all gonna die, aren't they? And sure enough. It happened.
It's like that, but it's like that. That's how he went out.
Yeah,
They couldn't have got a fire hose or something.
Yeah, probably the weakest of all of the 3 movies, because he apparently wanted it to be a trilogy, but not at first. At first, it was supposed to be one movie, and then he's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna make Split," and then he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make a third." I'm like, was it supposed to be a trilogy? Well, yes and no. So no.
Okay.
Right. Well, when I saw Split in theaters, I was when they showed Bruce Willis at the end of it. Spoiler. Like,
Oops.
yeah, oops. I got kind of excited about it. I thought that was kind of a cool little thing. I was like, oh shit, all right.
And then the sad
Especially,
part is when
yeah.
you see Glass, Bruce Willis, you're just like, well, damn, I'm actually disappointed he's in this movie because he's not doing a goddamn thing interesting.
Oh, really?
The man's Glass. For maybe towards the end, he kind of does something cool, but then that's the end of the movie.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis just pops up in anything. I swear to God, that motherfucker owes somebody money.
I like Bruce Willis, but
I don't hate Bruce Willis. Yeah, but like after was it Live Free or Die Hard? After that movie, I feel like he stopped trying to be good in movies and just was there for a paycheck. Hostage, good example. What a dumb movie.
Yeah, it's like they were trying to like make Die Hard or something.
But not make Die Hard.
Right, yeah, because I watched Hostage and I was like, okay, so that basically was just like a retelling of Die Hard in some weird way.
God, I just wish they would have left it alone after the third one.
Yeah, Die Hard.
Yeah, I do too.
Was per Samuel L. Jackson being racist as hell.
He said, like, it's Hans Gruber's brother, so they all the movies will connect.
Yeah, and you got the amazing, Jeremy Irons is amazing in the movie. He is terrifying and ridiculous at the same time. Like, you can't take him seriously, but you would be intimidated if he came at you.
Yeah.
Oh, completely, yeah. It's like John McClane's at his best, like with his one-liners and like his just jokes and just being a smart ass, you know.
The movie opens with a very controversial scene, which when you go back and rewatch it, you're like, how the fuck did they get away with this in '93 during the LA riots? This was literally during that time period. So the fact that they had managed to get this into a movie is impressive.
It was a little while. I think it was '97 that came out.
No. Yeah. It was like '93.
Was that early? Because I know. Because
93 or 94.
The first one was 88. The second one was 90.
Yeah. Had to have been 93 or 94.
I'll say 97. Not that either one of us get a prize for being right. Not that it matters. It's the 90s.
But even in the 90s, again, you get some stuff still kind of like was like felt after they initially like happened and ended, because Tupac got shot again. Lots of like civil
I remember my dad took me to go see that, and
my mom took me to see
there was the moans in the theater, but my dad was mad. He was like, why did they have to do that in this movie?
Right. Like,
he was like, they ruined a perfectly good movie. Why did they have to do that?
They're just like, okay, what are they talking about? Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because he hates that racist shit.
Yeah. I agree that it was an extreme way to do that. But if you see through like the underlying thing, like you said, like Samuel Jackson's character he's racist. And John McClane's like, dude, like what's the problem? Like blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And eventually they're cool and all that. So I guess they were just trying to but that scene though
it was the villain that did it. It was the villain
right.
Simon go out to the middle of Harlem. What's
Simon
the worst thing you could do in the middle of Harlem, right?
Yeah. Well, it's just that he's got a hangover throughout the whole goddamn movie. He's like,
which is the best part. They always reference the fact that he's got a hangover. He's like, damn it, I need some Advil or something.
Yeah, and Hans Gruber's brother gives it to him.
Keep the bottle.
Yeah, it's like that's just a good fucking movie. It really is.
But at the end, Samuel L. Jackson gives him the quarter, and he goes and calls his wife.
Yeah, it's a happy ending, sort of.
The end too. They just should have stopped there. Is my point.
Yeah. Although I will argue, Live Free or Die Hard was great just because it was filmed in Baltimore, and they had some really cool scenes. And Timothy Olyphant made a good villain.
I was gonna say definitely.
And Maggie Q was awesome because she's awesome in everything.
Yeah, a very young Timothy.
Yeah,
that was cool to see.
2007 or something. It was a long time ago. And we don't talk about that one.
Yeah, I didn't really care for the other ones.
I think had it been rated R, it might have changed things a little bit. Because it was a good idea.
That's right. It
was a
wasn't.
good premise.
Oh yeah, Russia. Die Hard in Russia would be cool, but they managed to fuck it up.
Die Hard in Russia.
Well, no, it wasn't. If it would have been Die Hard in Russia, that's the name of the movie. It might have been a little bit cooler instead of It's Another Day to Die Hard or something dumb.
Yeah, it's more like a really bad James Bond.
Yeah, and it actually plays out like a really bad James Bond. Ironically enough, I feel like the director is like, we want to make James Bond, but we don't have Bond, so let's just make McClane Bond. And yeah.
And
I don't really remember any of the movie.
And I was like, and how old's Bruce Willis again? Yeah.
Right.
James Bond's always like a younger guy.
But essentially, it's Bruce. I just remember Bruce Willis and his son into some stuff, and of course, Bruce Willis has to save him because he's John McClane, who has to be in Russia.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, yeah, he just happens to be there.
Like, it's kind of stupid.
Like, on a day trip, they really don't explain how he ends up in Russia. It's like, yeah, I'm in Russia. It's like, wait, where are you? I got some bad news. And then,
I liked it better when it was called Taken.
Yeah.
Like even the not so great sequel, Taken 2, was better than that. Like, there's only so much you could do.
And then Taken 3 was just like, let's just
want to milk it as much as they can.
Oh yeah.
And even I'm sure the director's like, what the fuck do you want me to do?
Exactly.
Look at the Die Hard movies.
It was even like with the RoboCop sequels.
Oh my god! Yeah. Speaking of the really bad sequels, let's take a look at RoboCop 3.
Oh god!
I remember going to see that too, and
Me
everyone
too.
in the theater was laughing.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
And the sad part is, it's not a funny movie, but it's just so ridiculous because it's
hilarious.
Well, it's like, you remember that part when he somehow he messes up that robot ninja's face, and he has a smile on his face. The ninja.
Yeah.
And
robot.
Nobody looked at that and said, "That looks fucking stupid. Can we do something with that?"
God, that was such a bad movie.
A far cry from 209.
Bad Halloween, bad Hollywood sequels, and let's see. How about Karate Kid Part?
Oh,
I never saw that.
Kid, the one with
Exactly. Does anyone remember it?
No.
Or was it 3? I can't remember. I know they made a lot.
3 was the one with Terry Silver, and the 4th one was the one with Hilary Swank.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you want to call it the 4th one, they called it the next Karate Kid.
Yeah, I called it a big old Duke.
It's
like come on,
like, God, it's like this, guys. It's over. Stop making them.
At least, I mean, at least I haven't watched it yet, but at least there's Cobra Kai. I know I probably need to. I heard it's really good. And
don't worry.
Apparently,
Dave is the only person in this chat who knows about Cobra Kai and could probably several hours about Cobra Kai.
Oh, it's an amazing show. and it's accurate too, because if you go back and watch the first Karate Kid, when they're out having the bonfire and Daniel and Johnny start fighting, Daniel sucker punched him. He sucker punched Johnny. So they kind of flip the roles. Like, Johnny's kind of the good guy, kind of the victim. And they go on to say that the crane kick was an illegal kick because it was a kick to the face.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not wrong.
It's not even real. I had a kid try to use that on me once in a fight in school.
Great. Well, yeah. If anyone realizes the crane kick in an actual fight, you would die.
You would be.
Well, not die.
I grabbed the guy's leg and flipped him over. Like it was stupid.
Because like if you're standing across from somebody and they start doing that, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? And you just take 1 or 2 steps in and just knock them out.
Then you laugh hysterically.
And you're like, what the fuck?
Did that just happen?
Yeah.
He's got one leg bent in the air. He's got both arms holding up both arms. No defense.
Yeah.
Just walk in and punch him.
Yeah.
I also had a kid.
Watched enough like kung fu movies. They even explain in some of the behind the scenes as most martial arts are just for show or defense for practical fighting.
Mm-hmm. Except maybe Jeet Kune Do, maybe.
Okay. Well, some martial arts forms, but some of them, like, no one's going to use the crane kick in an actual fight or like the tiger claw.
No.
Well, it's like wrestling moves too. I had a kid try to pull that shit on me in class once. That was a big shit show. I beat the shit out of this kid. Well, I didn't really beat the shit out of him because I didn't have really a problem with him. But it was this whole thing where he just was in a mood and he wanted to come at me and try to strangle me. And I ended up flipping him over. Like, dude, we gave a show to the fucking classroom, that's for sure. Like, I flipped him over on a table full of like tacks and shit.
Nice.
Hit his head into a metal door
that went into a storage thing, and it broke it off the hinges, and he had to pay for it because it was his head that broke it.
Nice.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
Wow.
but yeah. You shouldn't use things in movies don't always work in real life. Like, that's why people get into trouble.
Although when you see
you're
The
in a
Rock
fight
too,
too,
in a movie is kind of sad.
Yeah. Like, and when you're in a fight too, it happens so fast.
Yeah.
Like, I probably wouldn't even think to try to even attempt to get someone in an arm drag takedown.
Right. Yeah.
Or something.
Exactly. Well, I mean, yeah. There's not because you got the adrenaline going. You don't know what It's just kind of like, what do I do? What do I do? And yeah, like fights are totally different in real life, folks. Okay, kids. So we hope we've been your teachers and good role models.
Yes.
I'll piss off.
And don't fight at all, kids.
You don't fight.
Remember,
make love, not war.
Eat your vitamins, say your prayers, drink your milk, or if you don't say your prayers, then I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, is that politically correct anymore? Probably not.
Probably not.
Thoughts and pairs.
What?
There was one kid I knew. Triple H just moved the pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
There was one kid I knew that another kid was coming at him, and the kid kicked him in the nuts, so his head went down, and he got him in the pedigree, and like it busted his nose.
Oh God!
Like he had.
It's a dangerous
face.
Almost.
I probably shouldn't have said that. Kids, don't do anything. Don't try this at home.
There's no kids listening to us. It's okay.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Don't.
Our audience is very small, so we can say whatever we want.
Yep. For the 5 people listening at home, don't try what we talk about.
Hopefully they
Should
won't
we
go
got
back
5
to earlier episodes.
I think we'll just get better as we go.
This is just an all. We got people sick. One person.
It is a weird night.
It really is.
It's like, what the fuck? They're dropping like flies.
Yeah. I think we've made do pretty well. Like, talking Die Hard and shit,
Because Patrick said he left work early, and I can tell you right now, I worked with him for a while, and he never leaves work early.
Well,
That kind of says something. God damn. Well, hey, here's something. I turned 38 tomorrow.
Oh shit! Happy birthday!
Yay! Well, I wish you happy birthday on Facebook, but I'm gonna wish you happy birthday now because it's in real life.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. I can't believe I'm 38. I'm going to be 38. It's so weird.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy, and it's like after you turn 21, the years just fly by.
Yeah, after you turn
Oh,
21,
yeah.
well, it just goes downhill from there.
Yeah, there's nothing else to really look forward to because, like, when you had like I guess you were graduating high school, then you turn 18, and that's a big deal. Then you turn 21, and then that's kind of.
Oh, well, see, it was different for me. I turned 18, quit high school, struggled ever since. Stay in school, kids.
Stay in school, kids.
Or join a band.
Join a band because that does great for me as well. Andrew, joining a band is a curse. You love it. Being a musician is a curse.
It's a blessing and a curse. You don't make money really. People think it is, and you just get weird stalker people.
Right. Like I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I've quit playing music so many times back and forth, but then like go right back to it, just because I get so irritated. But then after a while, like
that they always go back.
Oh yeah,
like
but
it might take a year or two or a couple years, but they'll always go back.
Oh yeah, if it's in your blood, it's in your blood. I know a lot of people who are great musicians who it wasn't for them anymore, and they haven't. It's just a waste pretty much, like of talent. But it's like I had a lot of friends that were like, when I turn 30, if I haven't done anything with music by then, I'm quitting it. And a lot of them have done it, and then there's also a lot of us that are still doing this shit. Now it's like, okay, well, all right, whatever, got kids. All that shit. And it's like, all right, well, we're just going to do what we want to do. And either you like it or you don't. And, it's just all about us. It's me with us. We don't care. We do it for us. If anybody else likes it, good job. We're glad. Thanks for joining us on this trip.
Yeah. I like both your shit. The only music I don't like is country. Like, I'll listen to anything. Because I worked with this other guy who was hip hop. And he was just fucking insanely talented. Like, I was just like, what the fuck? I swear to God, like, if I was like a big time producer, I'd sign these motherfuckers.
Oh yeah,
like in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I've had a few people I've known like that. Like, you don't like country? I get it. I listen to a little bit of fucking everything. I'm more of like metal punk kind of shit, but I do like a little country. It depends on what it is. Not most of them do shit though.
I've argued Johnny Cash, but I've always said Johnny Cash was more kind of blues.
Outlaw country, they call it.
Than country.
Well, the thing about Johnny Cash though, here's kind of a controversial thing, real quick. David Allan Coe, his son, does a podcast called Cocaine and Rhinestones, I think. And they talked about, and like it's just him and one of his buddies. I can't remember the other guy's name. Actually, I can't remember the other one's name either. But David Allan Coe's son, he said that he was talking about Johnny Cash one night, and he said, "Here's an unpopular opinion: Johnny Cash isn't really country." And he said that Johnny Cash isn't, he wasn't really that great. I like Johnny Cash. I don't nobody kill me. I like Johnny Cash, but his points he was making was like, a lot of his stuff wasn't real. When like Waylon and David Allan Coe and people like that were talking about real shit.
Oh yeah, Johnny Cash, storyteller. I mean, no one really collects all those different parts to make an automobile and realize it doesn't work because that's obvious.
And he kind of had a gimmick too. He had the all black gimmick.
Oh yeah. He was a goth cowboy, or just a murderous person in cowboy getup.
Yeah. I mean, again, I like Johnny Cash, so nobody be like, send me hate mail. All 5 of you.
All 5 of you.
Was I gotta start something.
Because honestly, on his deathbed, essentially, like his last album he put out, "When a Man Comes Around," and I've heard that in so many movies. It's such a dark song. He literally takes references and he's just like, "How dark can I make this?" And it's an amazing song.
And they used it for the opening. And they used it for the opening credits of the remake of Dawn of the Dead, and it was perfect.
Yep.
That was cool.
One of the few remakes that
had,
will actually
he was Undertaker's theme music for a little bit.
What was it?
Oh, that's right.
The Ain't No Grave.
Oh yeah.
And I thought the remake for the Nail song was pretty good too.
Oh, Hurt? Yeah, he pretty much made that his own song. I used to do that song at karaoke back in the day.
Well, it's funny because people that aren't aware of Nine Inch Nails claims that Johnny Cash did it, and it's just like, no, people. Nine Inch Nails did it.
I know.
Really? Who the fuck says that?
Yeah, it's the same people. It's the same kind of people that think Texas Chainsaw Massacre is real.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean, of a person, but everything else,
but there's no Leatherface. There's no family.
Leatherface is just an invention to scare kids.
I got in an argument with like somebody a long time ago, back when the remake came out. They were they were convinced that the quote unquote found footage in the movie was real found footage. I was like, you are a fucking idiot.
We used to fuck with people with the Blair Witch because that movie was filmed probably maybe an hour or two from here.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Burkittsville, Maryland, for people that are unaware, and if people that are aware, then you know.
I can't think of the name of the town.
Burkittsville.
Burkittsville? Was it Burkittsville? Oh,
yeah.
Shit. That might be even closer.
I know someone that lives in Burkittsville, and that's like their favorite movie. It's just kind of funny.
I remember back years ago, they were talking about doing a Friday the 13th movie as a found footage movie.
Yeah.
And it would have been better than the garbage that we got.
Had that movie come out before Blair Witch, it would have been amazing.
Well, I'll tell you, there's a fan film called Never Hike Alone.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
And it's found footage, and it's done really well.
Yeah,
I liked it a lot.
A lot of them are done crazy good.
Oh yeah.
What was the last one I saw? It was the one with Tina from Part 7.
Oh yeah, it's Blood Rose or something.
Yeah, that's it. Blood Rose.
Yeah, that one I watched that recently, and there were some cool things about it, but so I mean, because it definitely tied some things together a little bit. That was kind of cool, but it was also kind of far fetched in a lot of ways. But I mean, then again, it's Friday the 13th.
I think they made it too long, though. I think it was almost an hour and a half long. I think
it was about the size of an actual movie. Yeah,
and because Chad and I watched it, and we were like, "Oh shit, that's the real Tina! Oh shit, that's the real Doctor! How do they get these motherfuckers in these movies?"
With a zero budget movie, yeah.
It's like the only thing we could think of is they're meeting them at conventions.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can only ride so long on Weekend at Bernie's,
Yeah.
Which is a classic.
There's movies, and for the time they came out, and they hold up, but they're just still so bizarre because it's just what's the point of these? It's just to make them weird as hell.
Well, I mean, I love the fact that it's okay, we're gonna keep our boss alive in everybody's eyes so we can party. That,
Because didn't they party in his big house or something?
Yeah, they party. Yeah, in this big fucking beach house. It's great.
And then the problem was again with the sequels, they had to do a second one.
Oh yeah, that one
pointless.
It was weird. It was I like stuff with voodoo and all that in it, so it's kind of intriguing. But it's did you all really? I mean, that's kind of that's a big coincidence that it just so happens.
Yeah, it just so happens.
He can. Well, the scene where he's walking in to the water because the music's going, and he's going into the water to get the treasure or whatever the fuck it is. And it just I don't know. It's fucking hilarious. But it's just man. The thing is, it's they needed to top it off with make it a trilogy. Do one more. Let's get one more. Let's do one more Weekend at Bernie's.
What do they do about the smell?
See, that's the thing is now Weekend at Bernie's 3 would just be his rotting corpse.
Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah, like that would be disgusting. It's been how many years? That body has not gotten any younger.
Probably about 30.
God, yeah. Shh. Too old.
So if you're hearing us out, people,
I mean, you could do a different take on it. It wouldn't be as much of a comedy.
Just remake it. Just remake it and make it a horror movie. There's an idea. We could have Bernie's, the horror remake. Like, it'd be good. Just have Rob Zombie do it.
Oh God.
Well.
So that just a bunch of hillbillies that are like giant circus carnival freaks. And his wife's going to be in the movie for like the first 5 or 10 minutes.
Oh no, she'll be Bernie. She'll be Bernie.
What do you guys think about the Munsters movie?
Oh man,
I don't know.
I am conflicted, but the set looks amazing. He built the set by hand, so I will appreciate the fact that he is very big on attention to detail when it comes to things. I just don't care so much for his story ideas, but we'll see because the actor to play certain characters. I'm like, I'm okay with that, but his wife, they made his wife Lily Munster, like really.
Yeah, he really should have stopped doing that a long time ago.
It was in their marriage contract, I'm pretty sure.
It probably was.
She's like, you have to put me in everything. He's like, okay.
I gotta be naked in your movie for at least 5 to 10 minutes. Okay.
Like, I would just rather see him do original stuff that he wants to do. Because I thought, not Corpses, Devil's Rejects.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Best movies ever made.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man.
Like, to see how he went from Corpses to Rejects, it's like, wow, this guy got really good really quick.
That's his perfect movie.
It pretty much is. Every other movies are just like, no, Devil's Rejects.
Yeah. Like, I always have an issue with him, like, when it comes down to things. Like, I have every one of his movies, and I'm okay with that. But I like all of them too. And for some, well, the couple of them I don't. Halloween 2, no.
No, he overthought that one.
Oh, that was stupid. The White Horse, eat a dick. That movie was bad.
I knew people that went out of the theater for that movie. Ouch, was it that bad? It was that bad.
It was that bad.
Like, yeah, I would have left.
Yeah, but his biggest problem is endings. Devil's Rejects is perfect because it came up with a perfect ending. House, Ties, and Corpses was pretty perfect for what it was, but Devil's Rejects was just amazing.
Yeah.
You know, it would have been cool if they made 3 from Hell when Sid Haig was able to do it.
Yeah,
that was the problem.
Like, you can tell that's why that movie fell apart.
Right. I mean, you can't. I love Sid Haig. He was an amazing fucking actor, and I get called. People tell me all the time I look like him. I don't know how I feel about that, but I've been him. Hair. Like I've been him 4 times for Halloween, and every time I get a lot of compliments on it. So I don't know. I always love that character though, and I always love that movie. But his other movies though, I just like 31. I like 31. A lot of people didn't like 31. I hated the ending to it. El Super Beasto.
31 had an interesting and the whole like crazy thing with the Saw but not Saw storyline.
Yeah.
And then Malcolm McDowell laughing like a maniacal, like insane person, which I'm sure that's why he wanted to be in the movie. To watch people get cut up.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, fucking what's his name? Doomhead. That opening scene where he's talking is like when he's that black and white thing. When it's black and white at first, when he's talking, that's like one of the best scenes in that fucking movie. That's just great.
Yeah, it's really well done. And then you're just like, oh, okay. And then it's just like everyone kills each other. It's like a giant manhunt movie.
It's
intense video game series.
Fuck yeah, it was. Yeah. I love that game. Those games are good. Those games were good.
They were gonna make but it got banned everywhere.
Yeah, it did. And actually, I have the first one on my PlayStation 4. If I can get my PlayStation 4 to work again, that'd be great. The great fucking game. But no, the Monsters question though. I know he's a huge fan. A lot of people are like, oh, well, he's a huge fan of the Monsters. You know, surely he won't fuck it up. Well, he also did Halloween too. So
yeah.
you know.
He knows the classics. He does, but is it
a movie from a TV show is always hard to do,
especially that one, right?
But he didn't do Dark Shadows. It was just example of a TV show to a movie.
But I don't know. Like I'll go see it.
Oh yeah,
sure.
Definitely. Yeah.
But
I'm curious about it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'm curious about it.
Will he go?
Like I said, I just wish he wasn't stuck with these Hollywood studio movies, and he would just do his own thing.
Like he's got enough money. Come on now, he doesn't really need studio backing at all. He's one of the few people. It's just like he could afford stuff.
Oh yeah, he has stuff. That's for sure.
His house is insane and amazing.
Yeah, well, I don't know because if you're talking about the one he was on Cribs, he doesn't live there anymore. He lives in a middle of it. Actually, it's kind of funny. You can find it on YouTube, but him and Sherry live in a little residential neighborhood. They live in a nice house. It's a nice house, but it's not what it's kind of like, I don't know, like if the Amityville house wasn't evil, that's what it kind of looks like from the outside. I haven't seen the inside. I don't think he showed anybody that. But they were bitching because there was a skate park down the street from where they lived, and Sherry Moon Zombie was on the news being interviewed about it, and they were bitching about these kids being so loud.
Oh, great. So he's a Karen. He's a Kyle and she's a Karen. That's great to know.
He got old.
Yeah. Well, no, he's always honestly Rob Zombie has always been that way. Because I've heard so many stories from members of I Hate God and stuff, and read things from Phil and the boys in Pantera about when White Zombie and I Hate God and Pantera were on tour together. And it said that Rob Zombie would just he hung out every now and then, but he mainly kept to himself. And he got really pissed off when what was it? It was Oreos. Somebody ate all his Oreos in his dressing room, and he got pissed off about it. And he moped around like a baby, from what I read. And he just always has been that way. Yeah.
Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah. Well, still love him, but Jesus.
Because God, I used to listen to White Zombie all the time.
Oh, I love White Zombie, dude. Astro Creep 2000.
65 and oh God, yeah.
Yep. Exorcisto. Fuck yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan.
More edgier than naming your CD "Sex and the Exorcist."
Right. Those are some definite. I mean, those are some great CDs. But Astro Creep, man. When I got that album, that's still an album that I listen to. Like when I'm driving, if I'm in the mood, I will put on fucking Astro Creep 2000, listen to it front to back, and just feel like mowing everybody down. It's a great album.
Well, that was the one that had More Human Than Human on it, right?
Yes. Yeah. That's classic.
Before he was Rob Zombie, even though essentially that ended up becoming the same sound, sort of. And actually, about going back to 31, I think that movie was completely that was Astro Creep 2000 brought to life.
Oh, if you look at the artwork, and stuff, and some of the titles and whatnot, and then go back and watch 31. Oh yeah, that. I guarantee that's just stuff that he had left over his head and combined stuff that was already there from White Zombie.
Good. Definitely. Maybe he might make Werewolf Women of the SS a movie.
Yeah, I've been waiting for that one for a while, just like everybody else has.
I always had a crush on the girl in the band.
Oh, Sean?
Is that her name?
Yeah, Shania Salt. Yeah.
Yeah, I always had a crush on her.
She's pretty badass. She's in a couple other bands now. I think she was in Star and Dagger is the band she's in now. I'm pretty sure she actually just put out a book about her time in White Zombie that I'd like to read.
That would have been interesting.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, I want to read that shit because I would like to know more.
Rob Zombie's cousin, Spider from Power Man 5000.
It's his brother.
Oh, brother. Okay.
Oh yeah, he does a podcast now.
That's going to be interesting.
Yeah,
About
Spider's a
us when Tonight the Stars Revolt came out, and then after that, no one gave a shit about our band.
yeah, right. Well, that's like the only good album from them. That's like that album's pretty solid, but that's the only one.
Fun fact: before he did the Rob Zombie thing, he was doing some weird kung fu, like Korean, like Japanese rap. I don't know. His hip hop was weird, and I'm not sure what he was trying to do with it, but he can rap apparently.
Oh wow, you talking about Spider?
Yeah, Spider had hip hop
Oh wow,
when the Stars Revolt came out,
that's funny. I didn't know that.
and then
I did.
Is Dave laughing over there?
How low am I doing?
Hip hop albums. He's like dying. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Hip hop album.
Damn it.
But apparently they had a lot of issues with the label they were on because Anyway for Doomsday was never released until way later. Because everyone knows it Drop the Bombshell was if you watch WWF or WWE now.
Those are Dudley's.
With Dudley Drop the Bombshell.
Oh wow.
And it was like Power Man 5000 and people were just like, wait, what album is this on? Oh, it was never released.
It was also on the Freddy vs. Jason soundtrack.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Man,
I like
speaking
Power Rangers.
that were not that terrible. I don't know. It wasn't the worst, but it just like it could have been better.
Taking a piss? Yes. Urine. Now we're getting controversial here.
I've been holding that.
I guess
I've been holding that for 75 minutes.
Oh God.
I guess that's what Dave thinks about Freddy versus Jason.
Oh no way! I love that movie. I went to the theater dressed as Freddy.
Hell yeah! I love that.
There were
movie.
2 sections in the movie theater, and I was like, because I was all hyped up. I was all acting crazy. So I was like, everybody that's for Freddy on this side, everybody that's for Jason on that side.
Wow.
Oh wow! Did people listen to you?
Yeah, they did. They did, believe it or not. I think it's because I had the glove on, but you know.
Nice. That's cool.
Those were good.
That's a good movie. It's a good fucking movie. But no, something that's actually kind of interesting is we're talking about Spider and Rob Zombie. A long time ago, Rob Zombie was in an interview and he was talking about how he grew up with like a carnival family and all this shit, whatever. Mm-hmm. And Spider just came out during an interview and said that they had a normal childhood. It wasn't all crazy like everybody thinks it was.
Oh, like, that's so disappointing.
That Spider actually told the truth, and Rob Zombie was like, "Yeah, I just came from a family of carnies." And he's just like, "Yeah, he's a fucking liar."
Yeah, because I watched the interview and I read the interview first, and I watched it, and I was like, what the hell? I was like, this whole time I believed that like Rob Zombie was like from some like crazy carnival family, and come to find out it was Ma and Pa Kettle.
Oh, damn.
But that actually makes more sense than anything else. Like, it really makes sense.
It kind of does. It kind of does.
By the way, there's no Santa Claus.
Just gonna throw that out there. Oh yeah, and Slenderman is not real.
Yeah.
Oh,
shit.
He didn't last too long, did he, old Slender Man?
What do you mean?
He lasted a good 5 years.
Yeah, he kind of came and went.
People just don't know, man.
Well, when you have a news story where some 11-year-old kid stabbed her bed times, kind of kills the fun out of it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah. A lot of people got to ruin it for everybody.
Because she was told that and told her to do it.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, there's been some weird videos out there, but I don't think Slender Man's a real thing. But then again, I can't say yes or no to that. I've seen some shit.
Slender Man, real or not real? The jury's out.
Yeah. Have you seen a tall, lanky man living in your like basement? Is he hiding in your closet? Is he living behind your house?
We could get Andrew to dress up and film a bunch of stuff and put it out there.
Slender Man, the return.
Because Andrew's a real tall fucker.
Until he gets arrested for scaring children. And then we have to be on like interviews like we didn't see it coming. We didn't know.
He just one day sort of snapped and got like a a tuxedo and a top. Started going around like scaring people with a knife.
He said something about Bob Saget. We don't know. He just left. I'm a dick. Oh well. Who cares?
Well, with that in mind, I guess since number one, nobody's coming back. And yeah, but it's about time for us to clock out, and I guess we'll all get some rest.
Maybe.
So we can come back next week, hopefully in better shape.
Hey,
we'll save the rest of the Daredevil thing for when Patrick gets back, because I know he wanted to talk about some stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll do a part 1 and part 2 kind of thing.
That works, and we'll see about what other movies and stuff we could talk about, or not talk about, or kind of talk about.
Yep. So that was the end of The Man Without Fear part.
And Die Hard.
And Rob Zombie and whatever
Rob
else.
Zombie and his made-up Carney family.
You heard it
Next.
here first, folks.
Rob Zombie's a phony. I mean, he's cool, but he's a phony.
Whatever. I mean, it's just like Glenn Danzig. Like the guy's a dick, but I like what he puts out. That's what we should do. We should talk about his movies sometime. Okay.
I haven't seen them, but I heard they're bad.
The first one is, I haven't seen the second one. I want to though. Devin Sawa plays the main character. It's a vampire spaghetti western. Just to say that for future reference.
What?
Yeah, it is. I'm not kidding.
That's piqued my interest.
Danzig and his spaghetti vampire westerns.
It's gonna be classic.
Wow, that sucks. And if I would have waited 3 more minutes, I could have took that piss, so nobody had to hear it. Oh well.
It's been fun, folks.
We're gonna go clock out, and we'll see y'all next week. Hopefully, it's all of us.
Yeah, really. Later, all.
Later.